Alright, hello, this is Cast Mirage. Welcome back to this Persona 4 Arena Ultimax blind playthrough. We unlocked Elizabeth yesterday. Look at that. So, we are going to finish Akihiko's and finish Aiga's today. Probably not going to finish Elizabeth. If Elizabeth is anything like Labrys's story, it's going to take us 2 days. So yeah, there we go.
Looks like I managed to keep her intact.
But still means to be under control of someone else. Do we have to strike down the one controlling her? But where could they be controlling Labrys from? This is I prepare to check the surrounding areas for any outstanding presence. A voice echoes from somewhere.
You resorted to your fists in the end after all. That's why people say your strength is fake.
There's a familiar voice I can't quite place. Darkness manifests from out of nowhere and coalesce around the form of a person.
What is that?
It's another Akihiko-san? Whoa! Is that Akihiko-san's shadow?
Darkness's fate was standing there was me. Just like Brash's shadow from before, he looked exactly like me. The only difference is in the eye. While the others are stirring, he coldly declares,
You go on and on about resolve and whatnot. What have you been doing these past few years? Just training yourself to fight better, that's all. You haven't grown at all as a person. You're still running from your fear of losing people, just like before. So you were watching us. Looks like the mastermind of this thing has a lot of time to kill.
Huh? Mastermind?
taken back by my taunt, but continues on.
I came from the sea of your soul. Enough. You think you rattle me with that tired old theme?
The shadow, no, the masterman, arrogantly tries to rail me up, but his taunts are powerless against me. I'm not taking the bait. No anger, not even surprise. There's nothing right within me. My heart was completely placid.
You won't admit it. Then rise again, my puppet. Dance till you shatter.
The enemy orders Labrys to stand. As a puppet string, Labrys responds to the shadow's command.
Looks like you've shown your stripes already. That power proves you're not a shadow. So what? You still have no choice but to suffer. Unless you destroy this thing, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
I glance over at Mitsuru. She gives me a slight nod, as I thought, as I laugh.
But this show is over.
What?
It means we won't fall for the same trick again. Yamagishi, now!
So I guess the difference between the Persona 4 cast's ending part and Persona 3 is because the game wants the Persona 3 cast to fight their shadows. That's basically what this is. Persona 4 cast already fought their shadows before Labrys loses control. Persona 3 cast didn't. Now they're doing it now. Some mysterious voice sound, the ominous presence lurking in Labrys was repelled. Turning out, the person whom Mitsuru contacted before entering the TV was Fuka. I see her Persona ability could disrupt the control of Labrys without her having to enter this world.
Are you all okay? Fuka-san?
Fuka was a friend of ours, helped us greatly in the battle 3 years ago. She was an analytical person. She has an analytical persona. Herself is with Sega but useful information. Yeah, I'm agree. She high student don't know anything about Fuka and looks on surprise.
Is this like Risa-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
Oh yeah, isn't Fuka's persona? You said Risa's is like a radar, and Fuka's is like a goddess that she goes inside of, right? There's like a giant water ball thing. I remember.
This feeling. What the?
I don't remember a lot about the. I know Futaba is a UFO because that's pretty memorable, But the rest of them, you don't really see their persona in battle. So like, you first see them when they're awakened, but you don't really get to see the Navi's persona all that much.
Voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
That's not your shadow, Akihiko-senpai. It's just a fake mimicking your appearance.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
Do you not know what a Navi is? She didn't guess. She like scanned you, dude.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labrys and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you control those hijackers.
Why did you go after these students? What are you up to? Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. Old wounds that you thought you would overcome open once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas. This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
Why would you do such a thing?
All the loose ends are finally getting tied up. I glare at the enemy and smugly reveals his grand scheme.
I see now.
Dude, I love this music.
More excuses.
I pulled my evoker. Can perform a summoning without this now, but I still couldn't just let it go. It serves as a constant reminder those days fighting as part of the Cease, so I don't forget the joy, the sorrow, and the lose from those days. I point the muzzle to my head, just like I used to. The feeling of cold metal, the easy trigger pull.
You said before that I couldn't cast aside my fears.
Back then, I felt I didn't care if I lived or I died. Just wanted the power I couldn't manage. Whether I disregard my own life because I recently want someone to punish me, or because I want someone stronger than I to forgive me and allow me to live. In either case, my resolution is no longer the same.
People who have no fears end up dying early or throwing their lives away. My determination coexists with my fears. I know that death and loss are always close by.
I squeezed the trigger of my evoker. Nostalgic sensation. Just hit 3 years ago when I laid my life on the line. But now though, I can't allow myself to die. In my heart, I know that I cannot lose this fight. I accumulate all the power to protect others. I'm risking my life in order to stay alive and keep my friends safe. That's my current determination.
Still say you're my shadow?
For Shadow, just another form of one's persona then.
My determination would never leave my side.
Oh, I didn't think Akihiko started on the second part on scene 11. I thought like he might go to like 17 or 16 or something like that. But he actually went to 19, and he's about to go to 20 after this fight too. What happened to my persona? Why can't I call it?
wonder you managed to drive back a god once. I didn't think you'd resist this fiercely.
I thought that I'd done some serious damage to that thing, but it seems it has no intention of giving up his ridiculous charade. He nonchalantly carries out on while still wearing my face.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes. I've confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Who do you think you are? You're really pissing me off!
Mastermind consorted my face into an eerie smirk and chuckles.
I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance. But sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then. Wait!
There's no way I'm letting you get away. I immediately close up gap between myself and him, but the final smirk, he disappears. All that remains is his laughter.
Yamagishi.
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Bullshit! Don't you ever come back again!
Still, what was it planning on using our persona powers for?
It hasn't given up, right? We'll see it again.
Indeed, based on that, I say every reason to assure that it will return. The enemy objective is still more unclear. We don't even know who he is. We do have a lead though. I look towards Masuru and Aigus. That I can't say in front of students. The fact that the master might know the labyrinth is a big clue. We're most likely dealing with someone related to Kyuju.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Yeah, even Masuru didn't know what was inside, like, the case that Labyrinth was trapped in. So, the fact this guy knows, I think it might be one of those scientists, right? Like, I'm guessing it's, like, one of those three scientists. Masuru did say she's trying to, like, clean up, Kyoto group. Maybe one of those guys got fired and they, decided to pull this.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course. We'll do our best to...
Yeah, we read like 6 times this one line that Masuru says, so I'm gonna skip past this. Just the rest of the explanation to Masuru, she's much better saying things in these situations. Meantime, I glare at empty space where the enemy was.
Go on, huh?
After our own member of the Shadow Operatives simply returned from the from inside the TV, we decided to spend the day in Inaba, doing follow-up stuff and leave quietly the next day.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
Fuka looked behind her back seat, and Masuru and Aiga smiles at each other. And for those who fought the battle 3 years ago, journeys into a world inside TV retrieval robots still sounds absurd. Still, we managed to accomplish our mission. We retrieve Labyrinth. We keep the incident as contained as possible. However, our plan to leave quietly, like a covert ops unit should, was foiled by a group of students.
They were certainly a lively bunch to the very end.
Masuru seemed to have thought the lapse in security was enough to string overall success mission, and smiles. I recall the smell fools those students as they come back to see us off from Inaba. I didn't think they'll show up. They turned quite the patrol we planned the big scene. Labyrinth, who Masuru opened up to obtain not to reseal, is still gazing in the rear window and wave up to them.
A little. But it's only a matter of time. I promised Chie and the rest that I'd definitely come back.
I want to see Inaba group and say goodbye to them in person. Labyrinth was the one who insisted on a formal goodbye. Not only that, she herself decided to leave them for a while and join the Shadow Operatives. Even if it was unlikely she could go to school with them, there may have been some way for her to see her new friends more often instead of joining up with our secret group. But that wasn't what Labyrinth wanted. There are things I must do in order to pursue the mastermind that dragged all of us into this instant. If I stay with the Shadow Operatives, I can accomplish those things. Those were her words. She was formed a bond, and rather than depending on them, she pushes forward. This must be why she's able to overcome past feelings with more grief than any ordinary persons. Her resolve is amazing, and Labris isn't the only one who gained a new determination in these lands either. In order to speak to my own resolve, I strengthen myself and face Mitsuru.
Mitsuru, may I talk to you?
What is it? It's unlike you to be so formal.
This won't be any time soon, but I'm thinking of leaving the Shadow Operatives eventually.
What?
Forgetting to seem hard-headed as the other members, but even she looks at me confusing in her eyes. This was actually something I have been thinking about for the very beginning. These feelings have been smoldering inside me ever since I received my first mission, and I finally found the avenue to direct those feelings. Mitsuru seems to realize this is something I've given a lot of thoughts to in response to a business-like manner.
May I ask why?
There's something I want to do now. I can't do it while I'm part of an unofficial group like this.
Are you gonna go try and like rescue, what's the Persona 3 protagonist's name? Are you gonna do that? People who feel random acts of violence and crying people down on their lives and have no one they can turn to. I want to be someone they can rely on. What? There's no greater power to protect was faced with a senseless act of violence in the past. Once that caused me the great loss. If it was an ordinary police officer. You want to be a police? What? Right now, I force to turn blind eye to the plights of some people as long as I have to carry on my obligations as a member of the Shadow Operatives. I won't be able to help them. Wait, do you want to be a police? What's happening? I want to go to forego protect some of small things in order to deal with the larger mission. In case that helped me realize I don't want to give up on those small things. I want to protect them.
I see. I think he would be well suited to Akihiko-san.
To what? Is he gonna be a cop? What's happening? Becoming a police officer to protect one city could be great too. I'm not just working my way through the official channels to become a force for society, but greater power is required to protect a larger area. And that power can't just come from my fists. They're greater in tangible powers in society as well. Are you gonna be a politician? What's happening? Could be a good idea to work my way through the upper echelon as a government official either. Then again, I don't know if I'll cut out to be all the bureaucratic stuff. Mitsuru has been quietly taking in my messaging until she interrupts my train of thought with some surprising words.
All the things you were going to say. That's it?
What do you mean that's it? Even I know it's pretty ordinary, but...
Whether you man a police box or become a career officer, you should do it. And if you do, then I'll consider your circumstances. To an extent, whenever I need you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
For a moment, I couldn't understand what Mitsuru meant.
Wait, are you planning on making me belong to 2 departments at once? Wouldn't use the Kirijo name for that, would you?
Bite your tongue, I won't do anything. But even if I don't, it'll happen on its own. You underestimate the organization's need for you. Leaving that aside, if you're going to wish to become something like that, then there's something you need to do first.
You're right. You need to train more and...
No, I meant going back to college.
Mitsuru certainly says you should follow Yamagishi's example. That reminds me, I took a leave of absence from college to go on my journey. I didn't have a problem with my classes while I was still attending. But what about now?
Don't worry, Akihiko-san. I will calculate the units and time necessary for graduating and plan the most effective curriculum for you.
I'll be counting on you, I guess. I've been thinking this for a while now, but Akihiko seems to need someone to manage him.
I'm honored.
Another trial for me to face.
Someone's in trouble.
Labradus interjected to joke at my expense, started laughing. I guess Mitsuru and even Fuka warmly spouts back at Labradus. For a robot, Labradus sure has a great smile. I gave up having a deep sigh before leaning back into my seat. Labradus quickly formed a bond into Inaba, and she will surely continue to form new bonds while she works within the Shadow Operatives. Once heart changes through the encounter with others, it's always the same whether your heart is converted into muscle or metal. Being a culprit behind this incident or to appear again, we know much for my new determination. The weather's great today. The day clouds the skies perfectly my new resolve. Think about how fitting situations make me laugh to myself. But throughout the traveling, I finally feel like taking a step forward. I don't know how I feel about Akihiko becoming a police officer or like a politician or something like that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that actually. I need some water. I'll be right back.